A win for the old guys today at Richmond. The first short track race that counted. We're going to talk about that and plenty more, and including a race that was about the strategy. Let's talk about that. Welcome back to another video. My name is Cameron Simpson. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. April 4th today, not 1st, but thanks to all the support on the recent videos, guys. Really do enjoy it. So close to hitting that big 100 subscribers. Don't know what we're going to do yet. Probably something big, but definitely going to do something. So I'm excited for that, and can't wait to get hit that 100 subscribers. Probably a national sports podcast for the big hundo. We'll probably do a sports podcast, maybe a montage. I don't know. Something for 100, definitely. Probably just a podcast. We'll get all your favorite guys from the podcast on, something like that. But besides that, let's hit today's race and talk about Richmond. And I want to start this race off by talking about strategy and how much strategy played in to this race. There was really two different strategies out there on the track. There was the strategy of running two pit stops, one pit stop, kind of dead in the middle. Most guys were on that 2 pit stop strategy. We thought William Byron was on that 2 pit stop strategy, but it turned out that William Byron was on his whole different island than the rest of the field, on a completely different strategy than everybody else. I mean, this guy decided to run the whole 3rd stage on 1 pit stop. Risky move, tires and stuff like here, especially at the short track when you're braking so much and stuff like that. Tires matter a lot. It was a risky move, yet they made it. And you got to applaud a team that already has a win this year. Really making a move like that doesn't matter to them. They're already in the playoffs, so making an aggressive move like that is nothing for them. It's a piece of cake. They can be aggressive like that. And I like to see someone that can be aggressive like that be aggressive, make moves out on the racetrack. You gotta like it. You gotta love to see it. And in my opinion, I do. I'd like to see a driver take a risk. I like to see a driver do something like that out there on the racetrack. I think that's a great thing for NASCAR, to have a driver be able to make that move. I do also, I think at the end of that race, we all thought that race was coming down to 2 cars. Martin Truex Jr., who seemed to have a better car at the end of that race, and William Byron, who was in the lead. He had a commanded lead. I think Truex Jr. got it down to 1 second. But with 30 laps to go in that race, to be honest with you guys, I thought the race was over. You know, William Byron had the win in the bag. That's what my personal thought was. I was wrong. It wasn't even Martin Truex Jr. who could get the win. It was someone from behind that pack, being the 11 car of Denny Hamlin. I was also kind of pulling for Kevin Harvick, who was there at the end, but tire wear mattered. And who could save their tires and stuff like that, and it mattered. Maybe it's not your cup of tea, this type of racing, because we've seen week in and week out racing that was better, tight corners, but this racing, to me, brought a different layer, something different that we haven't seen in a while, and I thought it was refreshing. In my opinion, it's great to see drivers battling it out on the racetrack in a way we haven't seen. In my opinion, it's great to see drivers going for the win in a way where it's strategy and a crew chief. And I thought it was great by Fox to have a crew chief in the booth this week, because, you know, it gave that crew chiefs matter. You know, as much as we like to say the driver's job is the hardest, which, I mean, I think the driver's job is extremely difficult, but the crew chiefs at a track like this have a decent job to do. They have a job they have to do. It's a hard job up there. And I think that the team of the 11 did a great job, and they ended up prevailing to victory lane. Denny Hamlin's team here, as we look at our finishing results, did a decent job out there. They prevailed, they did what they had to do, and they, in a sense, closed at the right time. And this is a big win for Denny Hamlin's team. This is his first top 10 of the season. Huge win for JGR in general, because Joe Gibbs Racing, coming into this weekend, 7th race of the season, had this one circled. Not yet getting a win, but let's not say they haven't been consistent. They've been up there, they've been running, but this race was the race. JGR is very good here. In general, they're decent on short tracks. Very good at this one. So I was happy to see them in the lead, doing good. And I liked it. I liked what I saw out there on the racetrack, because I think that JGR is the team that is kind of right now sliding under the radar a little bit. Nevertheless, Denny Hamlin himself, really tough, and you can see emotions when he got out of the car. So he was definitely emotional coming out of this week and going into this win. I think this is great for his team, big momentum booster. I think they would have been great with a top 5. Even now they have a win to go on as well. So a great win for that team. In second place, the closer, Kevin Harvick, is on almost a 1.5-year winless streak, kind of pulling for the guy. Couldn't get it done, but still finishes second, so that is a decent finish there for him and his team. William Byron, led a big chunk of laps there on the strategy, just tires fell off, finished third. Truex didn't have enough for the charging duo of Harvick and Hamlin, ends up falling down to 4th. Larson in 5th today. Christopher Bell, a JGR car, in 6th. Ryan Blaney in 7th place. He led a ton of laps in the first portion of this race. He ran very well there. Alex Bowman in 8th. Kyle Busch finishes 9th after a late race penalty that honestly was the right call. NASCAR, it's in the new next-gen rulebook that you can't put tape on the grill. That's what their team did. They put tape on the grill. But it was the timing of the penalty that gets me, especially as a Kyle Busch fan. Apparently, they had that tape on the grill 200 laps ago, and there's pictures circulating now, today being Monday, pictures circulating that prove that to be true, that there was already a tape on the grill. There was already tape on the grill 200 laps before. NASCAR finally noticed that there was tape on the grill with 30 to go. Seems to be a little bit of bad officiating on NASCAR's part. I would have liked it if they, called them out. Nevertheless, right call. They were cheating. They had the tape on the grill. It's a penalty. But the timing is off. NASCAR needs to get better at that. You need to let teams know right away, because he was cheating for 200 laps. If he won that race, you would have taken it away from him, obviously. And because of that, it would be your fault, NASCAR, that he had to take that win away because of what you did. And that's just my opinion. Austin Dillon finishes in 10th place. Chase Briscoe in 11th. Tyler Reddick in 12th. Brad Keselowski 13th. Chase Elliott had a decent car all day. I don't know what happened. Kind of fell off towards the end in 14th. Chris Buescher rounds up the top 15. Had a decent finish today. Some finishers outside of the top 15. Chastain finished 19th, last week's winner. Kind of up and down day for Trackhouse all day long. Really rough day for if you are a fan of the 45 car. Kurt Busch finishes 35th. Had problems from lap 10. Caused our first caution of the day. So yeah, if you were in his car, tough day for you and your fans if you are a fan of Kurt Busch. So the racing on track, that's kind of where we go to now. First next-gen road short track of the real season. We had the Clash, but obviously this is much different. This is kind of your more intermediate, not really short like Martinsville, not really banked like Bristol. So it's kind of like that weird one when it comes to short tracks. When it comes to short track racing, this one was decent. It was bumper to bumper. It was... I don't think the leader got over, when we're not in pit cycles, I don't think the leader got a ginormous lead. Like to see that. The leader was kind of kept in control throughout the race, which I do like to see. And besides all the really minimal problems, minimal incidents, it went green and it became a strategy race. We had, I want to say, more green flag pit stops or just under than all the rest of the races this season combined. And I think that was the number. Green flag pit stops, I think we had 4 for the whole season. I think we've had 5. So, that's kind of great to see. I love to see races like this. Every race has been different this year. And, you know, you need to get a mixed bag. And I think a strategy race is great. You know, we're not going to see someone move someone every week. You know, that's just not what we're going to see. These guys are professionals out here. And I think that we saw today a race, a breath, of fresh air. You know, something that we wanted to see, something that we need to see. And I thought we saw that today. So when it comes to hit the gas or hit the brakes, I am going to hit the gas. Let's say this race wasn't amazing and it wasn't horrible. And for that, I'm going to give it a C+. It was not overly exciting. If you watched the whole race, you were delighted by the finish. Above average race, above the C, and it gets a C+ for me. A decent race and deserving of that C+ today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Masters are this week, so on Friday we'll have a Masters reaction, some best golf shots in Masters history. If anything breaks throughout the week, I'll be here to talk about it. You can count on that. MLB kicks off this week as well. A lot going on in the sports realm, so stick with us. Something bound to happen. So anyway, have a great week, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Peace